What is going on in our real estate market, everyone, in the GTA? Well, I have good news for you. I'm here to enlighten you. You've come to the right place, so stick around. But first, show reel, hit it. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also the notification button so that I can share some great videos like this with you in the future. And I want to keep you updated on the market, and I don't want you to miss anything. So what is going on in our real estate market? So are we in the midst of a major correction to our housing market, or is it just the start of that? Well, based on the statistics that we've been seeing and objective measures of the real estate market, I'm of the sentiment that we're actually just starting to see the real estate market correct itself. It has shifted over the last little while, and I really believe that we're in a little bit of a topsy-turvy market that's about to go a little bit on more of a downward trend. Now that could be good for you, or it might not be so good for you, depending on what side of the coin. Are you a buyer or are you a seller? So I'm not here to sugarcoat what's going on. I'm going to use objective measures to talk about what is happening in the market. I'm all about honesty. So if you want to engage a real estate agent that is going to put rose-colored glasses on you, then you may be speaking to the wrong person or listening to the wrong person, especially when it comes to selling your home. Now, having said this, there are some micro pockets of the market that are doing, perfectly well and maybe a little bit more steady and predictable, and may have already shifted and balanced out. But tread very carefully. That's my best advice that I can give you today. If you need to sell, do it as soon as possible. And if not, depending on your particular market, I might suggest that you hold off for a little bit longer for the time being and study the market, see what's actually going on, especially since inventory is actually sticking around for much longer. So for instance, when I talk about inventory, I talk about days on market. On average, we're seeing 19 days on market versus 14 days on market that we saw year over year last year. Now, year over year, there's been a slight uptick to the home prices in the GTA of about 1.2%. But new data released by TREB, or the Toronto Real Estate Board, has actually revealed that the average benchmark price for homes fell more than 6% month over month in July. So I'm going to get into the specifics of these numbers to explain it a little bit more in more detail a little bit later. So the number of homes that were for sale were actually down a staggering 47% compared to the same time last year. So this is significant. So if we look at this from a pure economics perspective, with further rate hikes expected to come down the pipeline in probably the fall, it's thought that prices will continue to drop. Further rate hikes by the Bank of Canada by another 75 basis points is expected sometime in the next couple months. And in fact, with a sharp rise in the overnight lending rate by about 226 basis points we've already seen since March alone, we've definitely seen a cooling down of the market. And I'm going to give you specifics on what I mean here, because these are objective measures. I'm not making up this information. So the consumer sentiment is very closely following what is actually going on. So what does this mean? How does it translate to what you need to know? Well, the housing inventory is pretty much where it was about a year ago in terms of new listings, or maybe down just slightly. So with less options to choose from and higher interest rates, well, this is definitely affecting the buyers and shrinking the average buyer's purchasing power. It's just a fact. However, what we're actually seeing is that buyers are able to also extract meaningful price concessions from the average seller, especially if they have a great real estate agent that they're working with, like for instance, a skilled negotiator. It's very important to have different tricks of the trade in your back pocket as a skilled negotiator. And we've seen a dramatic reduction in home prices in the Greater Toronto area since last March. So I'm going to give you specifics on this. For instance, the average selling price of a detached home in March was actually selling for about 1.9 million, and it's now down to about 1.5 million. This is down about 21%, whereas semis in the GTA were selling for an average of about 1.5, and now we're seeing them sitting at about 1.2, almost 1.3. This is down approximately 18%. So townhomes have actually dipped below the $1 million mark. They were actually sitting well above $1 million in March, and on average they're down about 14%. And condos have actually come down from about 831,000 to about 744,000, so down approximately 10%. So if you are a buyer that's desperate to get into the market, it's not a terrible time to get into the market, especially if you have, like I said, a skilled negotiator. But I recommend you do your research, you know the market, you talk to your agent, and you really have a good understanding of what's happening. You need to have some great negotiation in your back pocket. And this means choosing, like I said, the right agent. And if you can hold off, I would definitely strongly recommend that you might want to hold off a little bit, observe a little bit longer as to what's going on. But the bottom line is, jump in to the market when you are ready as a buyer, not when anyone else is ready or when someone else is trying to talk you into buying, not a moment sooner or a moment later. When you're ready, you jump in. The last thing you want to do is have buyer's remorse, because we saw a lot of that very recently, believe it or not. If you're thinking of moving anywhere in Canada to Toronto or anywhere else in this great big world of ours, the KW network has a broad array of agents all over the world. So I hope you found this information helpful today. If you have further questions, don't forget to reach out to us on your favorite social media platform. We've always got your back. We've always got you covered. Until next time, this is Pamela Haines from Homes by Pam, helping you with your real estate matters.